That hurts a lot.
Like,
I don't know, it just hurts. Oh, fuck. Good morning.
I don't know how confident he is he's going to finish this thing.
This one's just kind of keep moving, but it is 31 miles.
To draw attention to veteran suicide.
By the time it was midnight, it was this thought between how far we have to go and how strange it was. The airfield wasn't actually flat. No matter where you looked, it looked perfectly flat. But that was the thing. It wasn't. Every few minutes, the grade changed just enough to matter. And that wasn't part of the plan at all. After climbing the rope, the height of Everest last year, I didn't walk away sore from it. I didn't walk away tired. I walked away sitting in a hospital bedroom for 5 days. I spent 5 days in the hospital with severe rhabdomyolysis, my kidney and liver in failure. The event raised $7,000 for men's mental health awareness, and I would do it all over again. So that leaves me sitting in a hospital bed with the question, what do I do after this? Because once you've gone through all that pain for something that you believe in, you're forced to ask the hard question. Was it worth it? And if it was, how do you keep going without injuring yourself in the process and hurting those closest to you? I was thinking about Maggie, I was thinking about my family, and how unfair the position I put them in was with that climb. But I would do it all over again because we saved lives that day. On one side, there's other ways to raise awareness. On the other side, nothing cuts through noise like action. What if we did something so big that it forced people to stop scrolling on social media and said, what the hell did that guy just do? Why would he do something crazy like that? What if I just dragged something heavy for a long time to symbolize the weight that so many veterans feel like they have dragging behind them that nobody else can see? And that's where the idea of the World's Heaviest Ultra came in. Pull a vehicle for an ultra marathon. Not because it sounded cool, not because I wanted attention, but because I think that is the way that we get people to stop scrolling on social media and actually do something about change. 22 veterans died by suicide a day. If pulling a truck could even make one person contemplate and rethink that decision, we need to start pulling a truck every single day. All of my pain and suffering while doing these events would be worth it. The idea came to fruition. I called a bunch of people and I told them, I'm not an influencer. I don't have masses to reach. I can't just go talk about this, but what I do have is a story. And if we do this right, we're gonna go change lives. Pulling a car ultra marathon is the idea for later this year. So we're gonna do a test run right now with the truck to kind of see how difficult it is. We're just gonna go across the cul-de-sac. We got a harness and we're gonna get it all rigged up. Bam. Bam. All right, and you can let go of the brake. Come on, come on. Get it up the hill. Yes, is your foot on the brake? Oh my God. Her foot was on the brake the whole part of that starting part. Well, it was in park, and then she put it in neutral and then kept her foot on the brake. And I thought this truck was the heaviest thing in the world. I was like, I can't move this shit an inch, and I want to do a marathon. What the fuck? I started training constantly. We documented everything, and we went to the desert and we filmed videos for every single brand we could think of that might want to get involved to help amplify this message of 22 veterans are committing suicide a day. All right, it is currently February 20th. So we are testing out the carpool marathon, trying to decide between an ultra marathon and a marathon. So this is the first long distance pull test with the car. Yes! All right, 1 mile done without the stop, 28 minutes. Eventually, we found a venue. Responded. It was perfect. It was a drag strip right outside of Phoenix, Arizona, half mile down, half mile back, perfectly flat, not even an inch of grade. Built for vehicles going in a straight line trying to go fast. Exactly what we needed. They told me the only requirement was an EMS fee, $160 an hour, and possibly lighting if we went overnight for the event. I agreed. That's perfectly fair in my opinion. They are worried about my safety, as they should be. So, of course we agreed. 7 months out, we had the venue. Now we just gotta get people on board who give a shit about this to start amplifying the message. We finally got some traction with a major fitness brand. I'm not gonna name them here because they didn't fully commit, but I did have their word. New shoes were launching, big reach environment, perfect alignment. They said they wanted to help. I needed $5,000 to put all of this together, to have the track and EMS fees paid, to get some videographers paid, and be able to pay for the lighting. They said they wanted to help, maybe for $5,000. It's a big ask, but at minimum, we'll give them shoes and gears, maybe some collab posts to bring out that awareness. We had meeting after meetings, calls for calls, emails for emails. Then 2 months out, they called and they said they could only do $2,500. I said yes, with one boundary. I agreed. $2,500 is more than I'm getting from anybody else wanting to help. So I agreed with the one condition. They can't use this event to do a full-blown shoe commercial and have me pay $3,000 out of my own pocket to advertise their brand new shoe. I will give them photos and stuff, but we are not turning this into a commercial shoe for their new shoes. They said they understood until a few hours later when I got the email saying they're completely out. We got no money, no gear, no support from a major company to amplify the message.
He would talk or show me emails with these people and they wanted to get involved, and he's like, this is my title sponsor. Like, he was loyal to them. And then a few months before the truck pull, they just go, nope, sorry, we're not gonna help. Like, have fun, sorry for stringing you along for 6 months. Like, have fun, buddy, you know, to this kid that's literally just trying to do things for a good cause, something that he believes in.
And now we have 60 days to figure out what the hell we're gonna do. Being 2 months out and having everything ripped from you sucks. I'm putting my body on the line and putting so much stress into my life to try and change and do things for the good. We've done the 72-mile farmer's carry. We've flipped a tire for 24 hours, climbed a rope, the height of Mount Everest, for the simple idea of men's mental health awareness and veteran suicide prevention. I'm not here looking for followers or fame. I'm looking here to make the point known that 22 veterans commit suicide a day. And that is a problem, and that needs to be solved. Everybody close to me knows how much this means to me. I got introduced to someone who is a former Marine. Apparently he does events. He's a big talker. In Scottsdale, Arizona, that is a very concerning thing. An event guy who runs his mouth and says he knows everybody. On the first call with him, he promised everything. He said, we have 60 days notice. That's not much time, but I'm so well connected. I have connects to massive record labels, and he promised everything from concerts to big artists to Barstool Sports to NFL connections to a rave at the track. And every call ended with, let's meet back next week. And the next week came with a new group of people and no actual plan. And it just kept coming back to, let's meet back next week.
Parker's on like 3 to 4 hour long, right? Phone calls. I'm talking like he'll leave my house at like 9 a.m. in the morning and he would be like, I'm on a call from 10 to like 3 right now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Or like he would, and then this guy would like name drop like all of these celebrities. He's like, I've lived in Scottsdale, like I know all of these people. Parker being not to be like rude, but like coming from a small town and then coming to work over in Scottsdale and be over in the Scottsdale area and never experiencing one of these people before. Like there's these people all over Scottsdale where they'll just like talk up all these people, talk about how much money they make, and realistically they don't have it. 2 months of like stringing along and me being like sitting in bed again arguing with Parker, being like, where's the plan? Like I want this in writing. Like I want something in writing that's gonna be at this track. He's gonna pay this amount. He's going, because he was gonna fund this entire thing basically. Then Parker starts coming home and going, yeah, so I think we're gonna have like a rave during my truck pull. And Parker's looking at me straight faced. You're looking at me straight faced saying, we're gonna have a rave during my truck pull. And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck has happened basically? Like what is going on? Then the next day he'd come home, we're having a country concert. We're actually having a country concert. There's gonna be bottle service. What else? I don't even remember what else. There was a, I don't know, a festival, like basically this huge festival at the track while Parker's pulling a truck. So then he wanted to make sales from this festival and then profit from Parker's truck pull, which is again why I was pissed off in the first place, because he wanted to invest all this money in the track. Now they're gonna profit from ticket sales, this guy is, because he's putting it on and he's making all the connections, and he knows so-and-so who can come fly down from London, England, and all this shit that he was saying. It got down to a point we're in Disneyland for a trip after, I think it was your competition or something. We have to stop in the middle of like, I don't know, we were at the waterlog ride. Parker's like, I have to take this phone call, I'm on a meeting. Takes his phone call with this guy, and I'm listening to this guy over the phone. Well, you know what, Parker, like, I believe in this, and like, I need you to believe in this, and like, if you don't want it to be a rave, then like, what do you want this to be? Because I'm not investing my money into stupid things that like I can't profit from. And now 2 months later, we're finding out, okay, the whole time he wanted to profit. He, for instance, said he actually cared about the cause. He doesn't care about the cause. He's just like all the other people who have lined up and said that I want to help, and then they don't want to help, essentially.
We're 30 days out, and another person I had to drop and cut and dust. We have no title sponsor now, no funding, no safety net, and no clue how the fuck I'm gonna pull this off. I had to make the decision. If I'm gonna ask people to donate, I gotta pay first. I'll pay it out of my own pocket. I will pay the $5,000 to have it at the track with the idea and the hopes that this will be worth it. 21 days out, I email him saying, where do I pay the money? I'm ready to go through with this. And they just never responded. 2 weeks to the day before the event, they replied.
This is either really good news or really bad news. Should be good to go.
Bang.
It's gonna be 6,500.
That is unfortunate.
If we want to do it, it's $7,000. There's no way around. At that point, it's like, I have two fucking options. I pay the money. We know it's flat. Or I drive around Arizona looking for anywhere flat enough to pull the truck and not get pulled over while we're doing it. I searched day and night on fucking Google Maps, looking at every location of potential new expansion area of Arizona of where we could potentially do this, because they're going to be building a new housing section, to reaching out to go-kart tracks about potentially doing it there.
So since the track decided to do a lovely favor to us and up price with 2 weeks left before we go, I am now scouting all of Arizona. I found a lovely, nice little road in the back roads of Arizona right now. Trying to buy construction. But there's small rolling hills, so we're gonna try to do a little test here to see if this can even work for a spot, or if we're just wasting our time out here.
I found an airport runway. I called the manager. He said, we're a military-owned company, former SEALs and Special Forces. Is this for nonprofit? Yeah, it is. And he said, come take a look. It wasn't perfect. It was farther out from the city. It was gonna be a little bit of a drive, but it's all we had on 7 days notice. Complete Parachute Solution saved this event. And it's just a beautiful runway in the desert. It was a massive piece of land. Where I stay, I woke up to a text asking if the event was still going on today. And I can tell you that is why. People say they want to help. People love the idea of coming and helping and doing things for the greater good. But when it comes to doing things that they don't want to do necessarily, to be at a track, to sit there, to explain to their boss why this matters, they fold, they crumble. People have crumbled this entire experience of what we're trying to do. I am not an influencer. I am trying to tell a story through training, through hard work, through showing people what is possible. But when it comes to people putting their own belief on the line, it sounds great on paper until it's time to do something about it.
You could say it, men.
Too many boys.
Yeah.
Starting here, he's starting on this.
I think here's fine.
Okay.
Go up through your mind right now.
Oh, fuck. I'm putting on a harness that's gonna be on me for the next good bit. And this is gonna be a long day, but my name is Mark Fontecchio, and this is the world's heaviest haul truck.
Friends there, family there, influencers there. And then all of a sudden, I'm 12 steps in going, oh fuck. Like, this might not be possible.
I feel like he makes these look so easy. That looks a little hard. The beginning of it, that made me a little nervous.
I know, I did too.
You have to get the wheels moving.
Leave the phrase getting the starting.
Is there any grade on this? Yeah.
I feel like I would have went that way first. Because I don't know why, but to me it seems like it goes downhill that way. But the main runway seems flat, but the taxiway I think goes downhill.
I remember taking the first step, and it felt like my dad had the foot on the brake. And I took the second step, and it still felt like he had the foot on the brake. And it's like, I'm clearly moving now. His foot is off the brake. And it wasn't moving. Like, it was the hardest, most terrifying moment of my life that this truck is moving so slow and feeling so fucking heavy. It was scary. Once you get a truck moving, it's manageable. It wants to roll. But this felt like it was trying to roll back the opposite direction. It wasn't.
I'm almost curious if like he hits forward pull on some of like the stuff that's maybe flat or downhill, and then going up if he switches to like the backwards pull.
Oh, that's an idea.
Because then he's gonna start hammering his quads, which his quads are probably more built for that load than his calves are. An uphill grade.
Okay.
Because he's starting to think, that's what she's saying, we're starting to think that this might be slightly uphill.
But just started.
So that was already burning out his calves. Which were on the first pull, so that's not good. But we were talking with him, I might chat with him about maybe pulling uphill, going backwards. Like pulling backwards, going uphill so he can use his quads. And then when on the flats and downhill, trying to go forward.
Gotcha.
Save his calves, so we'll see.
We were on the taxiway about halfway up, so it was a quarter mile to the end of the roundabout. I'm sitting here pretty confident in pulling about 26-minute miles at my pace. A year of training. I've pulled this truck so many fucking times, and I know how long it takes. I look down at my heart rate, and it's screaming at me 160 beats per minute, and the time says 40 minutes, and we've gone 0.25 miles.
Turn one coming up. We're gonna be here a while. Sun's gonna set. We're gonna be out here in the dark all through the night and maybe until like noonish the next day. We'll see.
We started rounding the curve, and it's like, started feeling a little bit better, and we get to the main runway. And we start pulling west, and it's raining 3/4 the mile.
What are you noticing over here?
It's tough to tell from back here, but like it just looks like he's walking like way more upright going this way.
Noticing anything different on this side than the other side?
It's a lot easier to make it move. Like we've traveled, that took us 10 minutes to go this trip, and now we've traveled like the same amount of distance in 2 minutes. So,
So that's what I'm saying is like,
would we rather short bursts of having to be hard, 10-minute, 15-minute segments, or a 30-minute fucking segment, but then I get, 0.8 miles. I guess it's gonna depend on a couple things. I was just thinking about over there. Your mom mentioned that your calves already felt there, just going up that way. How did she know that? Your mom just knows, dude. Did they? I mean, like, were you feeling it pretty good?
I was feeling a little bit.
But I mean, going uphill, I'm almost curious if we rocked more about the backwards walk. So you're using your quads to kind of power you up, and then you spun around and hit like face forward,
almost
down.
jog the downhill.
Yeah, dude, I mean, you could make up so much time going down this way, and you could split up the uphill between like a forward and a backward. And that's a butch thought.
Back to this hell again. Took 20 minutes. It's like, okay, that was normal. And it's like, is this even fucking possible? Like, I'm a quarter mile in and my calves are burning, my Achilles are tight. And we're 40 minutes into the event. I'm expecting this event to take 16 hours. And that first mile should be, your fastest. Maybe if you're pacing, like the easiest mile at least. And it's a 48-minute mile, it's just shit. Like, we're fucked. It's like, this is gonna be a long fucking day. Get it all the way down, do the turnaround. And it's like, we went about a third of a mile up and then 0.7 down, back the other way. And it's just like, that third of a mile took 35 minutes of the 48-minute mile. Like, we just went 0.7 in 13 minutes. And now we gotta get back. And like, we had this game plan kind of from the start of like,
Are we gonna still do loops or anything here? I say we just go up and back, because this, well, every time I fucking say this feels easier, it starts going uphill a little bit more. How you're feeling, really? I say on the next turnaround point, we'll flip the shops around. Okay. So I can pull backwards for this uphill part. Yeah. We'll take like a 2-minute break when we get there. Cool. On that down? Yeah, once we get all the way back down.
It's like, I'm pulling it up and I'm literally lurching as hard and almost lunging as hard as I can to get the truck to just roll. And I just remember looking at Josh and just going like,
Calves are already feeling it. Yeah. Good news is the feet are already going numb, so. The Achilles feeling fine? As you can. It's just a lot more uphill than I wish. But I thought there was a lot higher or something. I was like, we got tires changed, we overplayed them, it was supposed to be so much easier. Yeah. And then I was like, all right, we did all that, and now this shit's not moving. I watched that first few seconds and like, I know. Because you watched me pull this normally, so then it's like, that looked different. Yeah, and there's a million people here, and I'm like, the first thought that goes in your head is, did I just have all these people come out so we can't do this? So then it's like having to flip the mindset, being like, okay, mile paces might be a lot slower, now we just gotta start fueling for a longer distance time domain. Because this is really a marathon and not a sprint. I'm doing all right. How far have you gone? 5. Okay. Start at 5? Yeah. Okay. We're not in an ideal spot right now.
Minor cramp tooth from being here.
Some man pulls off a crazy feat, all for a good cause, pulling a truck 31 miles to draw attention to veteran suicides. Steve Nielsen has the story.
In the dead of the night, he begins. Ropes on, step by step. Some easier than others, but that's the way life is, right? Sometimes the load's light, and sometimes it feels like a truck is strapped on your back.
We're dragging that weight that a lot of them feel.
Parker wanted to do something. Anything to get you to listen. He's not passionate about pulling trucks. He's passionate about saving veterans' lives.
A lot of veterans come back feeling like they carry a weight that is unbearable, and unfortunately it's a massive problem that 22 veterans a day commit suicide. So we're trying to bring awareness to that issue.
The thought process for veterans is different. I was talking to one of my guys who's also a former Green Beret, and he's been through a lot of trauma. And he was talking with a very experienced individual who works with veterans dealing with PTSD, trauma, all this stuff. And she basically said that special operations and many veterans can push this stuff aside because they still feel like they can perform on a daily basis to a high level. But that 90% or that someone performing that high and has that much discipline and ambition, their 10% might be someone else's 90%. So even if you're able to perform and you look good on the outside, you never know what someone is experiencing in their day-to-day struggles that you're not seeing. So just understand that those experiences that they went through, there's no way to comprehend on how they are going to impact a person. So even though they might look fine from the outside, they might be able to go to a party, hang out, drink, laugh, smile, but once they step away and the music dies down, they might be dealing with something dark.
A trainer over here to help you.
We got a physical therapist.
Take the tax on your body.
Yeah, helping out, and then just all my friends and family. Everybody's pitching in. We got people here from out of state helping film and recording, get the message out to it. And so I'm just appreciative of everybody who's here.
Yeah, it should be like excruciating. It's not the point or recovery.
There you go when they find out something amazing.
All right. We're good. Anything else you need? Nope. Okay. Let's do it.
And so it just became like, how do I get it? And it was just one step in front of another. And I was just thinking to myself, like, if I can keep making this thing fucking roll, we'll be okay. I remember looking at Maggie going like, we got to be on the nutrition. Like, we got to. This is not going to take 16, 17 hours now. If we keep going like this, we're going to be here for a long, long day.
She made me like hour by hour snack packs that say like how many grams of carbs they are, how much sodium it is, how many calories, and then they're all different so that we know to get all the fueling right. So
there's a problem. He's so stubborn. He'll be like, I'm not eating right now. I'm not eating right now for like 2 hours. And then we're like, that will be like this. It will be like, so every 2 hours. And then there's meals for every hour and then one for every 30 minutes. Because sometimes during the rope climb, he would do like one every 30 minutes or he'd like go and throw up. So it's kind of like a mix of both, I feel like.
I'm going to go warm up rolls for him. How many do you want?
like 3.
3 of them? Okay.
What's up? We got whatever the fuck Maggie made me.
Honey, peanut butter, bananas, chocolate, rice cake.
And so it was, how do we keep going? Like, if I do this right now, the way my muscles feel, I'm gonna tear a quad, I'm gonna tear an Achilles, and I might put myself back in the hospital. And we can't do that again. But I made a promise to these people that I would not be going back to the hospital in the state that I was in last year in kidney and liver failure. So what do you guys think we should do? And it was, we were at 9 hours in, 11 miles going. And so that's gonna put us at 27 hours if I held the same pace. And I wasn't going to. Like, the uphills were taking everything in me. I just remember grabbing the straps and doing like an upper body row to make the thing fucking roll. And it was just demoralizing. Like, we knew it was gonna be hard. We knew there was gonna be trouble and setback, but it was like the number one thing since day one was like, we needed flat ground for this to happen. We needed flat ground to make this work. And so finally at about 2 in the morning, we decided it was like, we got to pull westbound. If we want to finish this event and pull 31 miles like we said we would, we got to go westbound. We've gone through this whole year of causing stress and letting people let us down because they don't want to help more than saying they would love to help. That is the extent that they wanted to help, is saying, oh my God, that's so cool, I would love to help. And that is the extent. So at 2 in the morning, we decided to only pull westbound.
I think we made the right decision. At the end of the day, it wasn't one that I was necessarily happy with. Like, I wanted to pull in a continuous loop the entire time, but it was ultimately that or pretty gnarly hospital trip we were thinking. Like, the amount of strain being put on the Achilles, it was too far, too long, and it ultimately wasn't worth the risk. Like we said, we're gonna pull a truck for 31 miles. Let's go out and do that. And it was flat ground. Like you couldn't tell by eyesight. It's not like I was pulling it down a mountain. Making that switch at 2 a.m.
I think that decision saved the event.
Pulling this way. So it's 100 times harder pulling up this way. We're pulling up 36 feet. And when you're just pulling something that's heavy, like we're only at 11 miles, it's like, our goal is to do this and bring awareness to it. And so I said I'm doing 31 miles. So I'll put 31 miles on my feet. I'm trying to call it at like 11 miles, which is a third of what I said I was gonna do. Even though we're beating it up, we're just gonna truck away and still, you know, hit 31 miles. Goal is to bring awareness. We're not out here to break a world record or anything like that. I said I was gonna pull a truck for 31 miles and
yeah,
we're pulling.
We started pulling and getting miles, and we started having conversations that, you know, I'll never forget. It dropped to 40 degrees and it was freezing compared to the 88 that it was. And it was like, we got to get the miles in now, because we knew at sunrise, like everything was going to change. Like we are way behind pace now. So now it is moving easily, but we're way behind pace. And we have a whole new problem. It's a high of 90 degrees the next day. So if we're out there too long, heat stroke is now back on the table. It's like, I'm freezing cold right now, but heat stroke is coming on the table. So sunrise came, we kept trucking along and we kept moving.
All right, we're at 19 miles. How are we feeling right now? We're doing good. Warm us up a little bit. Get some caffeine.
We're all boosted.
Exactly.
The sun's not shining.
Sun's up, which is nice. It was getting cold the past like 3 hours.
At about 10 a.m. we hit a marathon. 26.2 miles pulling a Toyota Tundra.
All right, so we're at a milestone right now.
We are. So we're at a marathon right now.
Where are we at right now in overall time, and what does your pacing look like at this point?
Moving time, we are at 15 hours and 7 minutes. Oh. Fuck. That hurts a lot. Like, I don't know, it just hurts.
Okay.
We had been moving since 5 p.m. the next day with a 4,000 pound truck strapped to my back the entire time. We had about 5 miles left, and it's like, you just gotta go.
Hey guys, this is Parker, and this is the Truck Pull Ultra. The goal today is to start a conversation about veterans' suicide and start the dialogue on it of how big of an issue it is that we face that 22 veterans a day commit suicide.
I've been headstrong, right and dead and wrong. Good with God, but I dropped the ball, spit my whole life.
Yeah, it should be like excruciating.
Even when I fell off, the ride was worth the fall. The fall was worth the smiles.
That hurts a lot.
Like,
Tears were worth worth the miles. Miles were worth the pain. Pain was worth it all. It's all worth this life. Life is worth the ride. The ride is worth the fall. I've had some nowhere near it, and some almost was it. Left some mamas in tears and some daddies still cussing. Just what I should have done and what I could have been, even knowing now what I didn't know then. I climb back home again. The ride is worth the fall. The fall is worth the smile.
Half lap. What time is it? Yeah, we're at 12:12. So we are 19 hours and 2 minutes in. Oh, this is surreal. This was brought to you by people who actually give a shit, not just post about stuff.
Smiles were worth the tears.
I'm just overwhelmed with emotion. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna cry, and I started to burst forward and started crying. It's every emotion over the past 19 hours is coming out now. Just happy and grateful.
Yeah!
31 miles. How's it feel?
Amazing. I'm overwhelmed with emotion, and
it's quite the.
Thank you to everybody for being here.
Quite the feat. It's about 19 hours and 13 minutes.
1913, John.
19. Yeah. Under 20. Woo!
Yeah, look at that.
Here. That was long.
You did it. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, I was scared shitless those first.
I was so worried. I know.
Mile, that first
I was
roundabout.
supposed to do it, and I was so worried.
First mile. That's where this goes.
Dude, just realizing like
These miles kept coming, and it made us all realize that life is gonna throw haymakers, but it's like how you deal with them is going to determine where your happiness and where it comes from. We can sit here and look back and be like, I wish I could have done this the other way. But at the end of the day, we understood the mission. The mission was bringing awareness to 22 veterans committing suicide a day. And that's what this was about. Stop the social media scrolling. Go, holy shit, why would somebody pull a truck for 31 miles? And this is why. I didn't know if I was able to do it, but I knew that I had to give everything to it. And if my everything was not enough, it's about the community behind me. That community is what kept me positive. That community is what made me continue growing. That is the community from my gym, that is my friends, my family, that is everybody that was there at that truck pull is the reason we were able to do this. Because yeah, it was an event on one day, but it's a community that supports me in all these other events that I've done through it. So yeah, when we get to those final few pulls, it was like, holy shit, I didn't think I was able to do that. And I think that is the story of so many people going through their daily lives. Is you don't know if you're gonna be able to make it through. But if you keep fighting tooth and nail and have people around you to support you, you will be able to go do it. So I went and I pulled that last one, 31.02 miles, 50 kilometers.